This is the one and only TQuest, and you are tuned into the TQuest Show with DJ El Nino.
Here to rock them, 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 here to rock the mic.
The TQuest Show with DJ El Nino. Relatable, informative, yet entertaining. If you think you can handle being a guest on the show, contact us today. We've interviewed independent artists to mainstream, regular folk to celebrities. You never know who's going to be our special guest, and one day it may just be you. Follow us on all social media platforms at TQuestGLM and DJ El Nino. El Nino. El Nino. Hey you. Me? Yes, you. What up? Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Hell yeah. GLM Designs can help you with just that. Word? From laptop skins? You lying. Promotional flyers. Yo, son! Promo videos? I need that. OBS Twitch overlays and backgrounds. Hey, yo, let me get that. Professional one sheets and so much more.
Oh my god.
Please visit our website,
I want it right now.
GottaLoveMeWorld.com today to check out our designs.
Get it!
Follow us on social media at Gotta Love Me World.
Follow it!
GLM Designs are here to take care of all your graphic needs.
That's right. We are here to cater to all your graphic needs. So no matter what level you are on when it comes to your business, make sure you contact us so we can help you take it to the next level. And of course, you guys know, for the ones who've been following us, we have been nominated, Team JLM, for 9 SEA awards. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you go to Southern Entertainment Awards to vote for us for Best Skill Blend DJ. Slept on personality, your girl TQuest. The journalist of the year, your girl TQuest. Whitney's Escapes LLC, because you guys know we're here to take care of all your traveling needs. Of course, the Impact Model at Bazaar Catwalk. And then, of course, our radio stations, Gotta Love You Radio, home of the music and conversations you want to hear, and WQRB R&B Radio, the GLM collection for our clothing brand, and of course, GLM Designs for graphics of the year. I know that is a mouthful, but like we always say, you have to take advantage of all of your platforms. Of course, I cannot do this without my partner in greatness, so let's bring him on because we have a treat for you guys today.
What's going on? That's a lot of awards.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Whitney's Escapes, shout out to
Whitney's, she nominated too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Connecticut's already on the check-in. It's a lot, but like we always tell people, when you work hard at what you do, when you take the time to do the research, when you take the time to invest in your brand, when you take the time to practice and to elevate, there's nothing wrong with people giving you your flowers.
Facts.
You know, and saying that we see you, you know, and we appreciate all that you do. So it's not a bragging thing. It's just we work hard and the people can see it.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
So today's show, I'm super excited. Shout out to anyone that's tuning in live on Facebook or YouTube, people who are tuning in from streaming platforms or the 20 radio stations that we are syndicated on.
Take that.
We appreciate each and every one of you.
So we're on 20 now?
Yeah, we're on 20 now.
It is, all right.
Some are pending, but it depends on the platform if we're going to accept or decline.
That is facts. That is facts. That is facts. That is facts.
But I'm excited because
what we doing today?
Well, you never know who's going to be on the show.
Okay.
You never know what profession.
Let me get comfortable.
You never know what field. And today we have a special guest. I'm super excited to talk about this particular topic because I feel like it is very important and people hear about it, but they do not do their research on it to know how beneficial it can actually be for your life. So without further ado, I'm just going to bring on today's guest and we're going to dive deep into this topic. Miss DeLisa.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It is our pleasure. So we're just going to jump right on in, let the people know who you are and where you're from.
So I'm originally from Oakland, California. I live in Nashville, Tennessee now and have for the last 18 years. But I'm in real estate development. So I build small communities, build large communities, and actually building a theme park.
Oh, talk about that. Yeah, jump right into that. I like that. Talk to me about that.
Well, first, let's just say that purpose drives me. We have to have something worth doing it for. And this theme park is called Storyville Gardens. It's based off of books and stories from all over the world, and it is designed to help children and young adults rediscover a love for reading.
Love for reading?
Yes.
Oh, now I definitely love that because I'm a part of an incredible book club. Shout out to Wendy's Escapes Book Club, and we're always advocating about reading. And speaking of, there she is right now.
Facts.
She's tuned in.
There it is. We got a book tour cruise coming up. You know
and we do have a book club cruise coming up with a lot of readers and authors. So I want to know more about this. I want to know more where it's going to be located.
Yes, so it will be here in the Nashville area. We haven't announced the specific location. We've been very quiet just for all the reasons to get everything final and approved. But it's been a fun journey. It started off really as us trying to bring something, and by us I mean my husband and I, to bring something for families that's engaging. Nashville, you hear about the bars, you hear about the honky tonks and all that stuff, but there is nothing for families. So I wanted to create just a destination that I thought would be really small, and it grew to be a lot bigger than what I anticipated. But the market here really pulls it. So
okay.
In Tennessee right now, 4 out of 5 children are not up to grade level reading. And there's a study that shows that if we can just get them to read for fun, it'll significantly increase their test scores. So
Absolutely.
you think about a theme park and how much fun that is. Every single ride has been designed around a book, a story, and people have asked me before, so how do you do it? How are you planning to do it? What does it look like? How does it make that impact? And I say 2 words: Harry Potter. If you can see the impact that Harry Potter has had on people and reading, it's huge. So that's what we'll do on a greater scale.
Absolutely. It was destined for you to be here today because my sister and I was just having this conversation. I'm like, it breaks my heart that children and the youth is looking at reading as like a punishment. Like, oh, why do I have to read? Because she's a very advocate when it comes to her children. They have to read at least 30 minutes to an hour a day. In their mind, it's additional homework at home. But she's like, you don't understand what I'm trying to teach you. You will learn the beneficial purposes of it later on. But right now, they're looking at it as a chore and a torture. And it really saddens my heart.
Yes, you are so right. And that's what we're trying to change. One thing, though, that I really found throughout this journey is that what called me to be a reader like I was because I saw my grandmother reading every day. She would pick up a book this thick and finish it in a day and a half. And it fascinated me. And so now I don't think our children see us reading enough. So,
They don't.
and I'm talking even myself, something I work on. But
I like that. Earlier, when I was young, I used to read all the time. Now I'm reading blogs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not picking up a book. I'm not doing all that. How would one of these rides? Tell me about one of these rides. How's that going to work? You know what I mean? Because look at she like I don't want just a little light. I don't need no specifics, but little. You know what I mean? The general. You know what I mean?
Well, let me see. We have quite a few. So we designed the park to represent the 4 corners of the world. So Africa, Asia, Europe, and America. And we placed the books and stories in the areas where they originated. So, for example, when you go into Africa, there's Aesop's fables. And it's actually it's a water ride. We have some pretty big roller coasters, just a couple. The others are really interactive experiences. We have 1001 Nights, which is the original story of Aladdin. Most people don't know that. And it is a fly through the Arabia, and you sit on it just like you would go to Disney or Universal, where you're flying through or soaring through California. I don't know if you've been on any of those rides, but it's similar in setup to that. We have a huge, big roller coaster called the Phoenix Fairy Flower, and it's based off of the story, The Phoenix Fairy Flower.
So it sounds like y'all doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first heard, I'm like, no, you sound like you doing a huge amusement park in there. You know what I mean? This is big. This is big. You know what I mean? Yeah,
It
this
is.
is big. Yeah.
It started
Yeah.
off, I thought that it would be about 8 acres. I thought it would cost me like $3 million. And it grew to be, so the size of the park is only 37 acres. We have the whole development is 706. But the
Wow.
park
Oh wow.
sits in a small space. We designed it to be kind of an adventure around every corner. It's not a big 200-acre park. You walk and you find something around every turn. And the total cost is somewhere between 300 and 400 million right now, well, of the park by itself.
Oh damn. Okay. Okay. All right. Now I heard. It sounds like you're doing something similar to what Disney has done down in Florida. You know what I mean? They have their park, and then they have that whole area that surrounds the park that they own. You know what I mean? And I understand. You know how that goes. How that works. Explain how that works to someone who may not understand why you're doing it like that.
Well, I think the thought is, especially like if we think about California, or even Universal Studios. Let's talk about Universal. When people go to Universal Studios, they are really excited to get to Universal City Walk. There's shops, there's restaurants, there's movie theater. You may want to go there on a date night. You may want to stay at the hotel and not necessarily experience the theme park. And so it was important for us to plan the whole community around the theme park to be just an entertaining family destination. Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart because I know down here in Florida, that Disney section is it's a little funky now because of the governor and you know what I mean and Disney, but I know how that works. You know what I mean? You getting people come down there, they may want to go to Disney or not go to Disney, but they still may want to be close to that area. You know what I mean? And you're still picking up business, from the surrounding area. So that's smart. You know what I mean? It's a smart lady we got on here. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could take the credit. Let me tell you, it's been first of all God led journey, but building an
Okay.
incredible team of experts and people who have guided us down the journey and have helped us bring this to where it is.
There it is. It takes a smart person to know, what they don't know and bring those people in that can do that. You know what I mean? Some people try to do everything and fail horrendously. You know what I mean? Because they want to do it their own way. You know what I mean? So smart. That's still smart. Respect.
Thank you.
Quest. Talk to her.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to bridge the gap in the connection. So bridging the gap, we have this incredible theme park that you guys are creating, right?
Yes.
And then you have themes based off like books we have read, right? Correct?
Yes.
This is something fun for the family to enjoy. But what aspect of it is going to encourage the youth to read more?
Yeah. Great question. So I think first of all, when you submit someone emerge someone into uh, a, an environment that is all about storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
it encourages the desire to be a part of the story, and that's what these rides will do. It's being a part of the story. It's going back to have gone through an adventure in this ride and then be able to at the end to purchase the book or see or be a part of the book. There's so many different things that we're doing with all the attractions there. But it's a fun journey. So on the other side of this, we have our nonprofit, our literacy center, and that will be a huge connection that will really help to bring the programs. It'll help bring, book clubs, for example, reading recovery programs. It'll bring all of these things that will be a direct connection with the park. So if you remember back in the day, Pizza Hut used to have book 'em. You read a book and then you come turn it in, you get a free pizza. So imagine by being a part of these different programs, that you're now able to get access to the theme park. So there are direct and indirect relationships in order to encourage reading and inspire people through storytelling.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm here for that. I'm definitely here for that, and I will want to know more once the time comes. How like the book clubs and authors stuff that we're connected to, how we can really get involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Maybe do a trip out there
and we'll
together.
have
So
yes, festivals for authors and illustrators and all sorts of things like that.
Okay. Now with the authors, will it be like a variety that's welcomed or more family oriented books?
You know what I've seen done before, and this was specifically at Fairyland, the park that I grew up going to. In the daytime, they would have authors that leans more towards children, and then there's an after hours event where there's authors and illustrator or authors that are more adult friendly, and then it becomes sort of an adult sort of hangout in the park. So we will have a lot of programs that will tie to every aspect of everything.
Okay. Well, like I said, I do know a lot of authors, and my sister's even an author. She wrote a children's book, and her first book part of a series. So I think that'd be kind of cool to do something. So we're all going to connect. We're going to converse, see how it makes sense, so we can really build together for sure.
Yeah. That part. So realistically, when are you thinking about breaking ground on this piece?
So if all goes well, we should see dirt moving within the next year.
Oh, nice.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
So was that summer 2024?
That's all I can give right now.
Yeah.
Okay. As a traveler and a planner, I'm already scheduling my trips. So put it out there, but we're definitely going to stay in contact. Now, if someone wants to know more information about it or how to get involved, do they personally reach out to you? Does the organization have the contact information?
Yeah, so there's a website, storyvillegardens.com. There's also a lot of different social media on Facebook, on Instagram for the park specifically. So those are handled by people who can point the inquiries in the right direction.
Okay.
All right. So tell us what got you to be in the position to do something like this. You know what I mean? Tell us about that.
Oh, that's a journey. Okay. Well, first of all, so growing up in Northern California, I decided I was going to be a doctor. So I left California, went to Fisk University. I was biology pre-med. And my second year of college, I met who is now my husband. I didn't give him the time of day for 3 years. That's a whole different story. But 3 years later, right before I finally said yes, he asked me, he said, why would you go and be a doctor when you could own a hospital? And so I thought.
Say what now?
Yes, that's what he said. That's exactly what I said too.
Wait. Say that again.
Yeah, why would you go and be a doctor when you could own a hospital?
Oh, I like him already.
What I appreciated was because I had never thought about business as a path for life, period. I was headed to medical school. And at that time, I was charged with the decision, do I leave and go to medical school, or do I stop what I'm doing and help him grow his company? He owned an automotive company, a small one that used to do customizations, window tint, wheels and tires, all those things. And I chose the latter. So I stopped what I was doing. I didn't even know how to write a check. And I jumped in and helped him grow that company. We were doing about $100,000 a year when we first started to just under $10 million a year in 4 years. And so I think a lot of people think that you grow up, right? But we grew up. And so I'll put a pin in that. But it was an interesting journey and
Yeah.
hard. During that time, I realized I didn't like anything automotive. I hated it. I don't even like putting gas in my car now after having Dylan.
Okay.
But I started when we started looking for our very first home. I was so excited. He said, "You should get your real estate license." So I did, and that started us down on the real estate journey. So I started helping people. There were people in 2011 who were in 13% interest rates. $9 of their mortgage payment was going to their principal, and they were upside down. They didn't have the ability to sell or reinvest, so they were going to have to foreclose or sell or short sell. And so I saw that their house could make money, but they didn't have the money to invest in it. So my husband and I went in and helped a lot of these families. We caught up their mortgage, we moved them out, we renovated the house, and we sold it for a profit. And it was to help them, but it really was what fundraised for our development company.
Oh, wow.
So that's essentially how we really got into real estate development. And from there, we would just find properties or the properties would find us that had an amazing opportunity to really enhance an area or create something different. And I would hire builders to come build for me. And then I realized I was paying for other people's mistakes. So I decided that I could pay for my own, and I went and got my contractor's license. I became licensed in residential, commercial, and industrial construction. And from there, we've been building and developing all around Nashville, Middle Tennessee.
Wow.
So
Okay. What I love about hearing that story the most is when you're conversing and speaking about it, I just see this beautiful glow about you. You know, you can see that you genuinely love what you do, even though that wasn't the initial dream. But you had faith in your husband and your union to take that leap. Because that's a whole different profession than what you was like, okay, I'm going to be a doctor, this, that, and third. But then it's just like, you have this man, now I feel like it's one of them dating shows. And it's like, you want me to do what?
exactly.
Wow. Because you don't really hear that often. Because it's so different. It's so different. It's not like you were like, you wanted to be a nurse. And you was like, no, forget about nurse, just become a doctor. Like, these are two different professions.
Exactly.
That's scary.
It was an interesting choice, and what I appreciate is who my husband is. And that, I think, is what allowed me to take that leap, because it's rare that you find a man who is willing to work. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't about half. It wasn't about yours and mine. It wasn't about any of those things. And I trusted his lead.
Yes.
And when I trusted his lead, we talk about this all the time. I went to support him in automotive. And then when we fully pivoted it to real estate, it was under my vision. And so he saw what he was doing now to support me. Imagine going and tell your husband that you're going to build a theme park. It took him a minute to process that. But he did the same thing for me with this and with real estate in general. And I'm grateful for that, the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. It's just butterflies, because it's such a beautiful feeling. And I'm actually doing a show. I haven't put it together yet, but I wanted to do a segment with couples that do business together.
Oh yes, do it.
Because they're always talking about you have to pick and choose. I'm like, not with the right partner.
I know.
No, not with the right partner.
Please do that.
Exactly. And so we're definitely going to stay in contact, because you would just be phenomenal for the segment. Because I'm just like, living proof that it can happen.
And I will say that we have the blessing and the challenge of never having known anything else. We've only worked together.
Yes.
And so I don't know if it would have been hard for us to work separately and then try to come together. But we started off in these roles, so
Yeah.
I'm natural. I will
That's
say
beautiful.
we don't know balance. I will say that. You know, we went on vacation a couple months ago. We went to Mayacoba in Mexico, and we're sitting on the beach, and we are not going to talk about work. And then we just sat there quiet for about 5 minutes, and then he said, "Okay, remember that project over?" And I said, "Yeah, let's go."
Oh my gosh, I totally get it. Well, the difference between us is we bring our work with us, even if we're on vacation. Because as long as we have our phones, our laptops, if a client calls and needs something, like if we have the moment, we're going to just take the opportunity. But sometimes you do have to turn it off. But then at the same time, it's hard to, especially if you both genuinely love what you do.
That's right.
You know, so this is just beautiful, and I'm just smitten. But it's not about the relationship.
Uh-oh. Wait. There's no sound. There's no sound.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. So, one thing about that, because she's a travel agent, so when she travels, she's taking the time out to learn the different places, so she can, can genuinely tell her clients, you know what, this would be a perfect place to travel because I've been there. A lot of people don't take the time to really learn their business or invest in their business like that. Like even with us, with like music or graphics, I was my first client.
Yes, I know about
that. Absolutely. Like, what would I like? What will make me happy? What will please me as a client before, working with a client? But
and in real estate, what I found is that you have to be willing to invest in you before anyone else will, and prove that you care, that you know what you're doing, that you're going to be responsible with anybody's investment,
Exactly. So we hear about so many different things in different fields, things which is important, what is not important, pros and cons. If you were to give like a seminar or a speech to a lot of people who don't really know anything about real estate, only what they hear and hearsay passing by, someone who's thinking about buying a home and something, can you explain like the importance of either getting into real estate or how important it is when it comes to wanting to buy like your first home?
Yes. Oh, that's such a great question. So I will tell you a nugget that my dad told me when I was younger, and it was two things. He said, God is not making any more land. 2, he said, real estate will never be worth nothing. And those were impactful words for me because it's true. And as I got older and, looked at different investments and companies, even if real estate was a passive investment, even if the market goes up and down, it will never be worth nothing. And there won't be more of it. So I am an avid, obviously, real estate investor, and definitely have led so many people down that path. I think the biggest challenge, or what will I say? The biggest thing I think to think about before you get into it is to be in the right market. And by that, I mean, I'm speaking right now, and all of my experience is in the Nashville market. And Nashville market, for example, I built a community of homes that I sold between $375 and $400 back in 2019. At the end of 2020, those homes sold for $650.
Oh, wow.
So they almost doubled in value just because of the market, you know? And so when I say find the right market, you may not be able to see that same kind of return in California, let's say. California's market is not increasing as Nashville's is. So those are my few little nuggets, but happy to share more if you have any other questions about it.
Okay. Okay. Whew. Digesting. Now, if you're, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So I think I know this, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. When you have a real estate license, you're only licensed for that state.
Yeah, so like in Tennessee, the license covers you in Tennessee, but it is reciprocal to states close to us. So Georgia, Kentucky, all those. And so I think there's just one little paper you have to do or something. I've never tried to get a license anywhere else, but it's very similar.
So let's just say there's a couple who just happen to live in Florida. Is is that considered close
That's
enough?
what we're doing.
I'm just saying.
Well, I think that we may have some reciprocity with Florida, but I'd have to check that.
You do that. I'm just gonna leave that right there. How much do you need to start something like that?
Something in terms of investing in real estate or
Yeah.
so I'd say that also depends on your market because and the market that you're interested in. I 4 or 5, maybe 10 years ago I could buy a property in Nashville for 49,000. But now, you know, we're 10 times that. So it just depends on the market. And honestly, the very first step, if you want to get into investing in real estate, and I've told people this, I sing this song day in and day out, call a lender. And I will tell you, the lenders, not with the big banks, don't call them. Call a lender from a mortgage company and say to them, I may not be ready now, but can you tell me what to do to get ready? What do I need to do to be? Some people go and they start trying to fix their credit. I've seen it where someone had a 650 credit score and they went and paid things off thinking it would help it drop their score 100 points. So now they were no longer eligible to buy. It's like throwing a shot in the dark. You don't know what to fix. So unless you are under the kind of advisement of a lender who can tell you what to do, that's the best step.
See, there it is. Some people go out there, they close their credit cards, now they done lowered their credit age, you know what I'm saying? And then the score drops. You know what I mean? So tell me something that you definitely should not do if you're trying to get into this game.
Well,
something that someone assumes they need to do. I'm not talking about what you just said because that was great.
yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Tell me something else like that.
To not do is just go out looking. I know that that's exciting. A lot of people call agents, and I no longer practice selling. I'm too busy with building, but I do.
I ain't got time for that.
I know, but I do help people a lot to get on the right
All right,
track.
there you go. All right.
But a lot of people make the mistake of calling someone and saying, I want to see this house. Can you open it up and show it to me? Or I want to see this property. First, work backwards. Call the lender. Ask the lender, how much mortgage payment is this? So if I'm comfortable with $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month, say that first and say, what do I need to get in order to, work backwards in order to afford this month? Or you when you work like that, everybody's in. And the lender may say, well, according to all of your whole profile, you can go up to $3,000 a month, $4,000, whatever it is. But working backwards in that scenario is going to be more productive.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to go to her class, not these other classes that the people talk about.
Not the YouTube ones.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about that certain DJ Envious and the crew up there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
a whole another topic.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic.
What are your thoughts about commercial real estate?
I guess that's kind of a loaded question. I think that we need it. I mean, we all need grocery stores. What I've seen though is a huge shift. Things have gone from being so separated to now everything is turning to more of an urban type of development. Have you noticed that? I mean, you can go to development now that has shopping, living, and all these uses in one space. And it seems to be a great model because people are realizing that they want convenience. They want walkability. They want to walk outside of their house and go be able to go to a coffee shop, even though they don't live downtown. So I think that commercial real estate is a place where, with a little bit of out of the box thinking, we could really do something incredible and different and really help change some lives. So that's what I think.
I believe that. That was actually one of my dreams. I wanted my own mini mall.
Yeah.
But I wanted like a semi classy bougie.
That's what we're doing.
Yes, a mini mall where it's all a convenience. Everything you would need for the day is there. You know what I'm saying? You get the nail salon, the hair salon, the shopping spree, all the pampering things. You got your vitamin store to get you a little pumped up, and then like a lovely restaurant at the end. Like, I just wanted everything to be convenient. But I'm like, it has to make sense at the same time.
Yes.
But to be honest, once COVID hit, a lot of some of my dreams, I was like, you know what? Maybe not. But that happens because the COVID changed a lot for everybody.
It did.
So I commend the ones that kept pushing, but certain dreams I had to remix a little bit.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a quick question about that. Now since COVID hit, it kind of changed a lot of in-person things to a lot of virtual things now. So a lot of those office spaces and office buildings have to either get repurposed or I guess some of them has to get shut down. How did that affect what you personally do?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, how do I say this? So I own actually it used to be our car lot, and it used to be our office spaces. So there's a huge big warehouse there where we converted into offices, and then to the front there's our car dealership and all of the automotive things in the back. And when COVID happened, the automotive world went crazy, and I mean, you guys probably saw what happened. You're paying significantly more for a car that's not even worth the car's price. So at that time, my husband and I decided to fully convert over to real estate. And I was so grateful because that business, it was time for us to do something. It was taking too much time. And now we have an 11-story building planned for that site. So we all left the office. I haven't been back in there since. It's all the whole property is fenced up, but for the last year and a half, we have been working with our architects and engineers and the city and getting permits ready for a 195 unit apartment complex on that site. So thank you. Yes, I mean, there is a way to pivot. Sometimes it's not fun, but that's how it impacted us. I've seen it though. I've seen a lot of people get impacted negatively. Thankfully, we were in a position to where, we weren't.
That's beautiful. Like, you just made my day.
Well,
because you were saying? Did you say something?
No. I said you made mine.
Oh, but I'm for real because I love to learn, but at the same time, I love when we have guests that can educate.
Facts, that part.
So
yeah.
many people hear things in passing, and then like when they come to us for things, I'm like, did you take the time to do any type of research? Like, we can't tell you everything, you know? Society became so popcorn and so surface. I'm just like, there's a lot more to this than you know. You have to do your research because a lot of people, especially since the pandemic hit, so many new entrepreneurs. It was like the lottery. Some people hit big, and then some people keep wondering why they're still in the red. I'm just like, because you're not taking the time to properly plan. You're not taking the time to properly do your research. You're not even taking the time to see if there's something you genuinely want to do or have a passion for, because that's going to motivate you to really get things going. So I'm glad that you're here to talk about this, because some people say I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to have a business, I want to have a storefront, I want to own a home, and I'm like, but you gotta plan it.
Well, and you know, one thing that I always tell people is just take one step every day. One step every day down that path, and look. One day you'll look back and see how far you've come. But that's the action part.
Absolutely. Now, it's interesting that you say that, because before we wrap things up, it's your moment to talk to the people. So what I want you to do is just remind them who you are again and what you got going on. Anything you want them to know about, how they can follow you if they have any questions about anything. And of course, end it with, if you have any more words of wisdom.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm DeLisa Guerrier. My husband and I own a real estate development company based out of Nashville, Tennessee. We develop communities, pocket neighborhood communities, multifamily, and we're developing a theme park, and it's a part of a whole big community that's very exciting. Go back and listen to the whole interview. It's about literacy and inspiring children. So we have social media platforms for Storyville Gardens and for my development company that we just really started. So Guerrier Development on Instagram and Facebook, and mine personally is DeLisa Guerrier, my name. So I just want you to know, everyone, that the journey towards anything big, it's not easy, and the one thing it's going to require is sacrifice. What are you willing to give up in order to get to where you are headed? And I always say that it says that God gives us the desires of our hearts, meaning that He gave us the desire, and if He gave it to you, that means you can do it. So go do it.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. See, this is a great show. You know what I mean? Great show. See, it's nice when we have someone that is, not just intelligent, but eloquent with their speech. You know what I mean? Because I enjoyed this.
Same here.
Yeah, and wishing you all the best with your theme park. You know what I mean? Once it's done, we will be taking a trip over there to check it out. Just because, you know what I mean? Just because.
Yeah.
Just because that will be our action. We're gonna check it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be our action.
I don't do roller coasters.
That's all right. We can get us something else.
But I'm going to support.
Yeah, we can get us something else.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. But once again, this has been an absolute pleasure.
I want to thank you.
I already see some people in my inbox already talking about you and how this is great. So
Thanks.
That's always a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And we're going to stay in contact, especially for that show, because Nina, you missed it, but I'm going to update you on what she was talking about.
I was here. I was
absolutely
present.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And, we're team love. So I'm super excited. But thank you so much for doing what you do. Thank you so much for doing it with elegance, professionalism, and grace. You're someone that a lot of people can emulate. And that's what we want to see more. especially in our community.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you so much for being you and
Yeah,
being on the
appreciate
show.
Thank you for having me again, and congratulations on all your awards.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Look at you.
Sorry. All right, but thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the TQuest Show with DJ El Nino.
The TQuest Show with DJ El Nino. Relatable, informative, yet entertaining. If you think you can handle being a guest on the show, contact us today. We've interviewed independent artists to mainstream, regular folk to celebrities. You never know who's going to be our special guest, and one day it may just be you. Follow us on all social media platforms at TQuestGLM and DJ El